A war on women? Democrats repeatedly accuse Republicans of waging such a war. A State Department spokesperson even accuses Bill O'Reilly of being a sexist. Take a look at Democratic National Committee Chair Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Scott Walker has given women the back of his hand. And there is no, I know that is stark, I know that is direct, but that is reality. What Republican Tea Party extremists like Scott Walker are doing is they're grabbing us by the hair and pulling us back.
The claim blatantly false, the visual horrific, but even worse, she ridicules the pain of real victims of domestic violence. Ms. Wasserman Schultz, yes, there are women that get the back of a man's hand, and yes, there are women yanked by their hair. I know. I've seen chunks of hair on the floor accompanied by tape, crime scene tape, at the scene of a homicide. How dare you minimize the plight of battered women to benefit your politics and your trumped-up war against women? My next guest, political strategist Bettina Inclán-Eigen, joins us. All right. Bettina, Ms. Wasserman retracted this statement, and I'm going to read it to you. I think we have it here. I shouldn't have used the words I used, but that shouldn't detract from the broader point that I was making, that Scott Walker's politics have been bad for Wisconsin women. Bettina, is that a real retraction?
Absolutely not. That was a non-apology apology. What Debbie Wasserman Schultz said, there's no room in the political debate for that kind of language. How can you use that? How can you say that you're for women and use that kind of language? It's so offensive to all people, but how you mentioned to so many families that have been affected by domestic violence. You know, it's just the kind of language that Democrats use, like lowest common denominator, kind of stuff that has no place in politics. Democrats are constantly trying to say this war on women, but they use this kind of stuff to not talk about real issues, to use inflammatory language so they don't talk how Obama and Democrats are really failing women. And she's there in Wisconsin, where Governor Scott Walker has really done a lot of things to improve the economy and helping women.
All right, now I want to move to the Bill O'Reilly part. I think we've got a sound here from Jen Psaki.
With all due respect, and you don't have to comment on this, that woman looks way out of her depth over there. Just the way she delivers, it just doesn't look like she has the gravitas for that job. And that brings us to John Kerry, the Secretary of State.
All right. Now, when Bill O'Reilly says that that woman doesn't have the gravitas, he is then accused in a Twitter claim and in another sound of being a sexist. Marie Harf says, too bad we can't say the same about the O'Reilly factor she says, State Department spokesperson explains foreign policy with intelligence and class. All right. Now, then we've got another sound, guys. Do we have that where there is a criticism of Bill O'Reilly?
Josh Earnest, okay. He looks to me to be befuddled. I mean, Jay Carney, you may not have liked him, but he looked like he understood the process. Mr. Earnest doesn't look like he has a lot of credibility. Is that the buzz in the press corps? I know you got to work with him, and I expect you to hammer him, but he just looks uncertain to me.
Okay. All right. Apparently we don't have the sound. But what happens is they come out and they say Bill O'Reilly is a sexist. I apologize to the viewers about that. And what we played was Bill O'Reilly clearly criticizing men and women. But if you say that a woman is in over her depth, does that make you a sexist?
Absolutely not. First of all, we all know Bill O'Reilly. He calls you either a pinhead or a patriot. He calls everybody out. The fact is the State Department should be dealing with the international community and not attacking Fox News. They need to be dealing with all these international crises. Fox News isn't the enemy. They just need to do her job. All he was doing is calling out that they're not doing a good job.
Go, Bettina. Getting out right now. Thanks for being with us. And coming up, your responses to